The Brooklyn Nets going to Milwaukee to take on the Bucks. However, Mr. Rose, the best show in basketball in the playoffs are the big three for the Nets. James Harden and Jeff Green are progressing well. They're going to be out in this one. However, it doesn't matter when you have KD playing like he is and Kyrie playing like he is and the supporting players of the Nets playing like they are. What do the Bucks need to get back in this series?
So during the regular season and even in the playoffs, you're going to hear so much talk about role players. And rightfully so. Basketball is a team game. But you know what allows them to fall into those roles? When you have your stars and your superstars performing as such. See, the team gets built around the strengths and weaknesses of the best player, not the other way around. And for the Milwaukee Bucks, they need Giannis to shoot the ball with confidence outside of the paint. He's not only struggling from three, he's struggling from mid-range. He's even struggling from the free throw line. So what happens when you're a dominant force like Giannis and you can't make free throws? You're not driving as much because you don't want to get fouled.
You're not driving as much and you're not hitting jumpers, and what are you doing? When you look at the production of the Bucks, we'll call them a big three, I guess. Look at the difference in production.
Well, and y'all hear that, Bucks? Big three, I guess. Y'all deserve that. When James Harden go out in the first minute, it's one thing to lose game one, but to get waxed like they did in game two and they was trailing by 49, that's unacceptable.
You remember Khris Middleton this season?
That was unacceptable.
Khris Middleton in the bubble? Where's that Khris Middleton?
Yes.
Where is that Khris Middleton?
I saw a play, and shout out to Kyrie Irving, who's competing defensively and playing with pace. But Khris Middleton is 6'7". He shouldn't do a post-up and get a shot blocked by Kyrie Irving.
Good point.
That shouldn't happen.
That's a good point.
Okay, and so I need to see Middleton. I need to see Jrue Holiday respond. But you know what happens? Players tend to play better on their home floor in front of their home fans.
They do.
And I anticipate the Bucks doing that in game three.
Well, I just want to give a big shout out to a gentleman, Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin. Now he doesn't score 20 points. He doesn't fill the stat sheet.
They need him.
However, one thing he does do, which I did not expect, he's playing D. Like, he's got Giannis a lot of the time, moving his feet, frustrating Giannis, frustrating the bigs. I like what he's doing on both sides of the floor, and I knew he would contribute, but I didn't know he would mean this much to them defensively.
Blake is a classic example of a player, and Derrick Rose falls into this too. Of everybody wants to be a Hall of Famer or All-NBA or All-Star, but the biggest compliment you can pay a professional athlete is calling them a vet. And what happens with a guy like Blake Griffin, you go to the Clippers, you're the franchise player. You're on the marquee. They need you to bring it every night. But the more you play in the league and the older you get, that pecking order changes. So now when you start talking about the Nets, how many players of importance are you going to name before you get to Blake?
4.
So now you appreciate him as your 5th best player versus other teams that paid him to be their 1st, 2nd, and 3rd best player. And that's quite all right.
Sure.
Because he's getting it done on a championship caliber team.
And on defense.